currently we have the following endpoints: branches, branch, banks, and bank. So, and in this, when you look at this endpoint, it has a get method and a post method, and then this one also has a retrieve, update, and destroy. So this is get, put, and delete. And then the bank's API view has a list create API view, which is a get and a post, and then the bank detail API, which has a retrieve, update, and destroy. Today we are going to create an endpoint to do withdrawals, because when you look at our models here, we have this. We want to implement a functionality to withdraw. So what does the withdraw account need? It needs the account and the amount. Do we currently have an endpoint to create an account? I don't think so. So that will be our first thing that we are going to do. So we are going to implement a create method for creating an account. So here we don't have a client. The client, okay. So first of all, we are going to create a bank account so that we register our clients. So let us just create a method just to create an account. So we're going to create a class, register, create account, create account, API view. So what we need to know is, I think we can just improve this. I just want to show you another way. Instead of using these generic views, we're just going to use the API view and then utilize it to make our own custom view. Then we're going to create a post method. Okay, so this will be a dev post, then self request. Okay, just before we finish this, let us understand what we need here, how our JSON will look like. So in this JSON, let me just comment this out. So in this JSON, most definitely we need the full name of the account holder, which is John Doe, and then we need also the address, and then what else do we need? So after that, we need also this account name will be just the full name of the client. So this is redundant. You can remove this. Let us just remove this because the name is just the client, so we can just remove this and then update this. Okay, get status, can just remove this. Let me just update. git add commit. The power is off. Let me just check. Okay, we good. Oh, I'm trying to plug in my power cable to the laptop. I'm done. So we just made the changes. Everything's done. We're not updating this first. We're not committing the views first. And then we just make migrations. What's wrong? Have we checked any? Oh, I didn't see D2 the banking system. That's where manage.py is. And then let us just run the command again. We just made the migrations. Let me update the migrations. Also this. We're done. Okay, then I run migrate. We good guys, we good. So we can just resume making the view. Yep, we're good. So we need the full name, address, and then open date. Okay, let us just put the open date. Just add the open date to be in this format, and then account type, savings, and then this can be made as a choice field here, or you can just put it as its own class, just as a account type, and then add it here as a foreign key. And then we need also the bank, so the bank must exist. So we query the bank 1. Okay, so this will be an ID, and then we're good. And the client is a foreign key. Okay, so we'll be requiring this class. We'll create this an object from this class, and then that object will be a foreign key here. And then also we must have a bank existing in the system. Currently I don't think we have one because the database is empty. So that's all. I think that's all, guys. We have everything. So before actually I will show you later how to validate your JSON based on the fields that are required, but for now I'm just going to show you how we're going to put all of this together. Okay, now first of all we need to create the client. Okay, so the client is this class. Okay, let's see if we imported it. We have all the models imported, so we have the client. Then we have okay, request to data, full name, then the address. So from this point we have created the client, and then we are now creating the account. So we have this client. After creating the client, put the client there with a foreign key, and then open date. What else do we need? We need the account type, and then the bank. So before we do this, we can just add the bank here. Just get the bank first, and then we check if the bank exists. In the future we are going to just have a way to validate data before everything has been created, and then we add the bank here. I think that's all from this. Then what else? So after that we are going to return a response. We have everything created, but before we return the response, let us check the serializers. If we have a serializer for account, we must have it. Account serializer, this is it. This will serialize our data into JSON form. We have imported the serializers. Serializer. Then we're going to serialize that, and then after we finish that, we're going to return a response as created. Okay, so I think that's it. Next time I'm going to show you how we are going to improve this code, and the way we have implemented it. We don't have a try method, which will, in case this is not successful, we must return an error, but currently we don't have this implementation. I just wanted to show you how we're going to create this account, and then later on I'm going to show you how we're going to improve the code. So I think we're done. Here. So this account serializer will serialize this object, and then we are going to access the data by accessing serializer.data. So it's like saying account serializer, then the brackets account.data. We can still do this and then access this here without having the .data. So for now, this is good for us. Then the next thing we're going to do is have our view. But before we do that, let us commit our code. And then let's commit. Okay. This is a new feature. We can just have some details on it. Create account, added, create account view, then we're done, guys. So we have our view which has been implemented. So whenever we want to access any data which has been posted, we access it by using the request.data, which is usually a dictionary, and then we access the items, the keys. The keys are the full name, address. These are the keys which are supposed to be in the payload. The payload is the data that you're sending to this API. So it's the request that you're sending to this API, and this is what is expected. If you have like a different name, it will not work. If you have like a different, like if this is the full name, we have like the name, the program will have an exception, just have an error. So the next thing, guys, we are going to do under the URLs, we are going to create an endpoint. Before we do it, let us import our view. We called it create account API view. I'm going to import it here. Create account API view. And then we are going to create an endpoint here, which is URL. Then yeah. So in this case, create account. Then just change the name here. Create account. And then we are good to go, guys. We're good to go. We have our URL created. This is the endpoint that we are going to access it through. So let us update our code on Git. You can just use the same commit. We add a create account URL. Then you're done. So let us spin up the application. Let's go to localhost 8000, and when we access this API, let's try to see if the endpoint is visible. Just put a random string there, and then you see a list of your APIs. So we have API create account. So this is the API endpoint that you're going to use now. So what the API requires, what the endpoint requires is a JSON format, which is in this format. Okay. Now, as we look at this, I've realized that we don't have the bank. We don't have the bank and the branches, so we need to create them. So create a super user. If your database is empty, create super user, admin, okay, just put a short password, that's why this error is showing. Okay, then let us run the server and then access the admin panel. This is the admin panel. Just copy this admin. Okay, we need to create the branches first because the bank requires a branch. Okay, I'll just put an address which is from my location. You can just put any address. Save it, and then we add a bank. Then we select a branch, we save the bank. Okay, now we have everything. We have a branch and a bank. We don't from this endpoint you can open up you can open up Postman. If you don't have it installed, please do check Postman. It's a tool that is used to make requests on endpoints. So as you can see here, Postman is an API platform for developers to design, build, test, and iterate their APIs. Okay, so it's a tool that if you are a developer, you really need this tool. Okay, where is Postman? Has it been installed? So guys, we're going to use this. We're just going to type the URL here, http localhost 8000 API create account. I think that's the way it is. So the URL has a /. We need to put a / there, and then the headers, just put content type, which is application JSON, and then we go to body, then raw, then we use this example, we post it here. I think we're good. Let us confirm our post method. Okay, looks good, looks good. Bank, looks good, which is an integer. Client looks good. Okay, open date, account type looks good, bank. Okay, everything looks good, guys. So you're going to test this endpoint and see if it will work. Okay, so let us make up. We must change here. We must change this into a post method. If you use get, it will not work, because as you can see from this endpoint, the endpoint only has a post method. There are no other methods which are included here. So let us make our requests to the server. Oh, what do we have here? Unsupported media type. Interesting. Unsupported media type ECMAScript. Okay, let's see the server, what the server says. Unsupported media type. Okay. Okay, let's see the headers. There are hidden headers. No, the content type is not ECMAScript. Should remove this. I think that's the problem. The content type is not text plain. Body. So let us add content type, application JSON. I think we're good. Let us make the request again. Now you see we have created an account. So how are we going to know the account has been created? That's a good question. We don't have a get method yet, so we can create one. So we are going to create another class. We can name it account list API view, and then we can just use the generics list API view, generics dot list API view, and then just do query set equals to account.objects.all, then serializer class equals account serializer. So we will need to update our code, git status. So update the account, git add, git commit. We added a new feature. Account list added, account list view, then after updating our code on git, we can just copy this class name and then import it under the URLs, and then you can have this URL so our method to get all the accounts will be this one. This endpoint will be used to only get a list of all the accounts in the system. Let us make our changes on git. After finishing, we can test our endpoint. But before we do so, let's go back to localhost 8000 and check our endpoint if it has been registered. We have our endpoint. So if you want to access it, you can just come here directly and go to accounts, and then you see this is the only account that has been created. So when you look at this, the client is not serialized. We can improve this. We don't know the name of the client, so this is something that you're going to update on the serializers, on the account serializer. So in the account serializer, it requires the client, okay, this, so the client is a foreign key. So in this case, that's why you're seeing the ID. You need to actually make it possible to view the client name. So we are going to use this serializer client, then I'm going to call this serializer. Let's see if it's working. Now you see then we also need to serialize the bank. Then the bank, okay, bank serializer, we just do that. So we have the bank name, National Bank, branch. We need also to have the branch name. So under the bank serializer, we can do this branch. Then we have the branch serializer. Okay, now we're good. We have a full JSON that has the full information. In the next video, I'm going to show you how we're going to implement the depositing endpoint and also the withdrawal endpoint. So thank you guys, and if you have not subscribed to my channel, don't forget to subscribe and tell me what I can actually add in this content and improve. And if it has really helped you, don't forget to comment in the comment section. See you in the next video, guys.